years old. I go to kindergarten to middle school, and I love doing stuff for new companies. Yeah, so it was really fun, and I was hoping for the best for myself. I think my favorite thing is that all the kids got to be with the program. They got to answer questions and it was very fun. It was my first time. I'm 10 years old. And I would like to have a book published by the time I'm 11. I liked all the businesses, and it's very cool to actually have kids as judges instead of grown-ups. Health and on or something. And I liked it a lot because it seemed like a very good idea, and I think that could really help older people when they are in need.
In startup, we track skills. I think each of you have an amazing skill. I heard in the bios everything from music to language to training dogs. How do you track skills? Well, we've got an answer to that in a product that I want to share with you that is about earning stats that matter to coaches. So how do you figure out whether you should be on the United States U16 national team? There's no test for that. They have 6 recruiters in our country. They fly around on planes and they look at people. Like they find Clint Dempsey in Nacogdoches, Texas because somebody happens to see him on the field and say, he plays good. That's not a good way to find talent in soccer. And so we've built tests that give you scores so you can quantify your skill, know what it takes to get better, and know what it takes to make the team. Well, this is what our product looks like too. It lets you keep track of this stuff so you can see yourself improving. Next. We have 1,000 coaches and athletes right now using our product so that we can validate. It's our market research. We've had a product out since June, and they're using it all for free. Next, do you know who the best soccer team in the world is right now for women's soccer? Which country? USA. We have the best team. Next, here's how the coach of the best team told all the coaches in our country to keep track of skills. She made a spreadsheet that has everything that's red you're not supposed to click on. And it's really frustrating for coaches to use. And so next, what actually happens is this is one of our customers before startup. Every time she hit a record, that's her dad's fence. She would lick her finger and write the next number. Next, we turn all that into magic. So that next, you take tests, like this is the Gigsy, you run for change of direction without a ball, and then with a ball, measuring your time. Every skill has a test, you put it into the phone, and then you level up your scores.
So how long has startup been running? Like not like you developing the product, but people are actually using it?
Right, the question is how long has startup had actual users? And the answer is first we tested on paper. We just made all the tests and built no software, and that was last September, so about a year ago. We did that for 4 months, just called it our paper beta, and then we decided that we had enough research to validate the product, and we built the product starting last January, and then in June was when we allowed the first users, and since then we've added 1,000 users, and that's kind of our beta group.
I think it's a fun opportunity for both kids and entrepreneurs to learn. For example, if I knew a lot about ice skating and I wanted to help with that, I could submit levels of ice skating that I've gone through, and then you could use it in your site depending on that.
Great example, and yes, that is exactly what we're trying to build it to do, so that you can keep track of anything like that.
Probably the fact that everybody is included and it's that everybody's equal.
So we offer lots of different types of services to business owners and to nonprofits. Their website build, social media marketing, email marketing, anything that they would need in order to have their message and their voice heard.
Right on top. So do people request for you to come help them, or do you just find businesses?
We want to be able to do both. So we have some cities that we want to go to just pure out of, I want to go visit that city, but also because they're growing. They have this need. These small businesses are the part of their business. So yes.
Is there any competition with anyone that is doing something that is kind of like yours?
Not that I know of. I know that there are other programs that are similar to what we do. We are actually looking to team up with Social Change Nation, which actually teaches businesses to be a social change business, like Tom's Shoes. When you buy a shoe, they give a shoe. So yes, we don't know of any that are doing the same thing, but at the same time, I will say that we don't really believe in competition because we do what we do our way and they do what they do, and we believe in collaboration first. Yes, ma'am.
I'm still a little confused on like how you actually make money. Do you?
Oh, yes, we do make money. I have to. Gas is too expensive. So, yeah, plus I have a lot of shoes that have to go in that trailer. So, how we make money is we go into the chambers and we're going to be teaching them and using all the free resources we can to get them started, but we know that that's not enough. So with our partners that we have aligned, we have services that we're going to be able to offer open to the chamber and the small businesses that they can buy in addition to what we're already teaching them. So we want to be able to not only educate them so they can get started, but also be a resource that they can purchase after the fact if they need it. Yes, so we are a small business and they are small businesses, and we are partnering together to help other small businesses. So we all grow together in a big circle.
What exactly is marketing?
Okay, so that's a really good question. So marketing can be a lot of different things, but it's meant to spread a message for someone or for a business, exactly. So think about Toys R Us. Toys R Us puts out ads, they touch you on social media, they put up a commercial. All of that is a form of marketing.
How many businesses have you helped?
Right now we're nearing 200 businesses in 3 years, and that doesn't even include some of the nonprofits that we've been working with as part of our own social change initiative.
This is one of the most exciting events in Austin, frankly. We've got a lot of kids in this part of the world that are in robotics, they're in programs like Quest, learning how to pitch new ideas through school. And what Mike Millard has done with Pitch a Kid is one of the coolest things about Austin. These very cool, innovative startups get to talk to kids and get to get feedback from those kids so that they can do an even better job of building their companies. Certainly an educational experience. Pitch a Kid is an educational experience because kids get to learn how businesses talk to one another and how they introduce their companies and their new ideas to customers and people who give them money, investors. But at the same time, it's a learning experience for the founders, the business owners of companies who get to appreciate that you have to talk and speak and use a lot of different words for a lot of different people to make sure you get your point across. My favorite part of today was actually seeing a lot of startups, a lot of people in the audience, and even some judges who I know. Austin is a very fun startup community and a startup city because we're doing a lot of different things here to help each other. And when we get together for events like this, we have an opportunity to shake hands with each other, to support each other, to share new ideas, and to give each other feedback so that we can keep doing better things.
And it helps hospitals improve the outcomes for patients. In other words, how well they're taking care of patients in the hospital. But we want to make sure that we can get that across. What does it mean to kids? It's a web-based application, as I mentioned before, called ActionQ Clinical Intelligence. And it's used in 200 hospital facilities from one end of the country to the other. Customers pay us what we call a subscription. In other words, they pay us every month, just like some of the websites that you sign up for. Nobody has left our subscription model. Now let's think about the grades that a hospital gets. Now a great big hospital has got lots of people, lots of things going on, a lot of activities. But they're not only just taking care of, keeping track of how well they're taking care of patients, but they've got to find a bunch of records. They have to keep track of all the ways that people are working together. They have to look at all the information coming out of the computers. They have to report on their grades, which we call metrics, to an awful lot of people. And the people that have to manage all of that have all kinds of reminders just to keep track of all of that activity going on. So the people that run the hospital may have a great deal of trouble knowing what to do next to keep their performance going where it needs to go. And in fact, a lot of the workers are just inundated with all kinds of paper because this is an awful lot of paperwork and it can get overwhelming. This gathers the information on how well they're doing in hundreds of different areas and makes it very easy for them to see, which I didn't actually get to. I guess I can't go back. Can I go back and show that? Okay. So it makes it very easy for them to keep track of a lot of different things that are going on and how well the hospital people are performing in each one of those things so that they can identify where they have to go improve, and it actually is involved in that improvement activity.
It's a good time for everyone to learn about companies. My sister's a judge. It's fun for everyone. What kinds of people will use this?
Now, very good question. Doctors, nurses, and other people who work in hospitals like lab technicians, various kinds of nurses, and even the bosses, even the executives would use this because they have to manage how well the hospital is operating, and they can find out very quickly by using our software.
If a business can say it in a way that a kid can understand, then they can say it in a way that anybody can understand. So I like that they said it. And I like that you were open to ask questions about the organizations, because this person was attending as well, and because I had never been to one before. I really wanted to go to one, but I had plans after on the second pitch kid. I couldn't go. 2 thumbs up. So you're giving them advice to make their hospital better?
Do we give them advice? We do. We have content, we have teaching materials in the application so that if they know they're doing something badly, like maybe a lot of people go to surgery and they get an infection, we will be able to say, in order to improve in that particular way, here's what you need to read. And that's not something we produce, but we connect them to those sources of learning materials.
I'm the CEO and founder of Healthanon, which is a company that helps people with chronic conditions. A chronic condition is a condition that doesn't go away. It stays with you your whole life until you die. So when I was really concerned about especially my brother was in the hospital because of this genetic condition. He was really sick. And so I was doing a lot of research on it, and I found a TED Talk when I was Googling. And the TED Talk was this scientist called Tony Weiss-Correa who was researching the mice. And so he was talking about his first study where he looked at the old mouse getting younger, and that really was fascinating to me. And so I thought there might be something that could help my family there, and there was. So we did some market research on this. The Seattle longitudinal study shows that over time, age causes people to decline. Their bodily function changes over time, which is very applicable to this picture kid. They become much more vulnerable to chronic conditions. The solution, it turns out, is in the blood. The proteins and enzymes inside of young blood can actually make old people younger. Now, how did the scientists prove this? I was absolutely terrified. I've been terrified for a month. Because this is it's biotechnology, so it's technology for biology, right? And I didn't know how to explain that to children. So it's hard to explain that even to adults. And so I had to redo the entire pitch, the entire presentation, and it really helped me. I'm actually using that same presentation tomorrow for a group of investors called the Central Texas Angel Network, and then also using the same pitch with other investors too. It really helped me get the pitch down to something that was understandable. Scientists at Stanford University showed something that was incredible. It's so incredible they didn't want to publish the study until it was replicated again at the University of California, Berkeley. It was also replicated again at Harvard. They put young mouse blood into an old mouse, and the old mouse got younger. They tried it again with a person's young blood, and they put it into an old mouse, and the old mouse got younger. So the hair on the mouse changed color back to its original color. It mirrored the young mouse exactly. Next. Somebody asked me if it would be good for everybody, and I hope that it is. I think that it will be. I think ultimately in the future that everyone will maintain their health and their wellness this way, and so people won't wait to get sick. That they'll use this to maintain their health and keep it in a good condition all the time. That is our vision at the Soldara Institute. Health and On is starting a series of clinics that will roll out across the country. We're the first nationwide franchise of regenerative medicine clinics. The first one is starting here in Austin. We'll be offering regenerative therapies that are safe, systemic for the whole body, which means the whole body benefits from it, and they're data-driven from studies from Harvard and Stanford. We're offering young plasma, stem cell therapy, therapies from the gut microbiome, the bacteria in your gut. All of these help your immune system heal your body from the inside out without drugs.
So how are you convincing your customers that you're a safe solution? Like, do you have like saying like, hey, we are a registered medical facility or whatever, you can trust us? What's your...
Good question. So how do we convince our customers that this is safe? So the first thing is that we only perform FDA-approved procedures. We just do them in a slightly different way, in a slightly different combination, and that's called a protocol. And those protocols are what are approved by insurance and by Medicare, et cetera. And sometimes it takes a little while for them to approve those protocols. So these are FDA-approved protocols. They're just not part of the regular, everyday way that hospitals do things. So right now, it's really expensive, right? And so it's almost like building a car from scratch. So like you come to me and you say, hey, I want this special kind of car, and then I have to go build it with my hands, right? And so that's going to be really expensive. But if we can mechanize the process, and mechanize means mechanical, like put it in, like have a factory that kind of does it for us, that will make it scalable and make it much more affordable. So that's what we're working with the Stanford Bioengineering Department on, is to have them figure out which of the proteins are therapeutic for various different things, and then be able to create those proteins in a lab and make it so that people can just get an injection, or instead of having to get a personalized product every time. So that's FDA approved, and then also there's trials already underway at several big universities like Stanford. So the things that are not FDA approved, we're supervised by it's called an IRB, which is a board of scientists and doctors who approve the trial and make sure that it's safe. Absolutely, yeah, this helps prepare in a big way. I changed everything. The way that I was explaining it wasn't very clear. It was confusing before, and I didn't understand why people didn't understand what I was talking. I just figured they didn't get it, and what this allowed me to do was shorten it, so now it's only 5 minutes, and then it's also something that's really exciting and people get it right away.
So you said age is a big factor in these chronic diseases, but are there still a lot of people that are born with these chronic diseases?
Yes, there's people who are born with chronic conditions. That's called a genetic disorder, and that's actually why I started the company. My family has a genetic disorder, and so there was no way for us to cure our condition without getting donations from other families who cared about that or had chronic conditions in their family. So they donated, they invested a lot of money in this company, and that allowed me to go all over the country talking with people and researching this. So a genetic condition, there's some of them that are treatable because your genes, if you donated blood to me, the genes are in your blood, and those are the proteins and stuff. And so my genetic condition can actually be cured temporarily by you donating blood to me. What did I learn today? That showing up for something like this is really beneficial, and that no matter who you meet, every single person has knowledge and wisdom inside of them that you can benefit from.
But the problem is that almost 1 billion people around the world are starving, and there's really nothing we can do about it. And at the same time, nearly half of all food is thrown away by organizations like farmers markets, because they just can't sell food that people don't want. The solution is we can dehydrate undesirable fruit using innovative technologies that can lower the price just enough so that every time we sell one, we can give one away. To prove that people would want this, I interviewed 57 people and I gave them a choice. One product that focuses on taste and one that focuses on waste. And the result was over 97% of participants chose the brand that was committed to reducing waste. This is my business model. Businesses would recycle fruit like you recycle plastics. We would pick it up and turn it into fruit leather. And from there, we would sell leather on a one-on-one basis so that every time we sell one, we can give one away. Yes, so the vision is to become an industry standard so that if you were to make a business that sells fruit, you would be expected to work with us.
In the future, do you plan to expand from fruit to things other like veggies and meat?
Yeah, so in the future, I would like to make beef jerky because meat goes away, or meat goes bad a lot faster than fruit.
How did it fruit be collected?
Well, I would like to make a system kind of like how when you throw your trash away, a truck comes and picks it up every week. But instead of everybody, it's just the businesses that work with fruit.
Would you like to envision yourself having your own place to sell it, or would you sell it to companies?
I would like to sell it in stores, but within the near future, I would like to sell it online. I think that'd be a lot easier.
If the texture's different, what would the texture be?
Well, fruit leather is kind of tough. Like, as in, like, it's kind of hard to eat. But it's essentially the same thing with having water. Dried fruit lasts a lot longer than normal fruit. And if it's made properly, it can last up to 6 months.
If you look on the ticket stub, you see that there's usually a convenience surcharge on the ticket. Those prices over the last few years have continued to go up. Have the solution, which will be later this year, will solution in one system, allowing for single login, single UI, where you can push information to all of your fans, all your customers, and manage your event more effectively, saving money on the service fees, and enhancing the experience for all. So are you going to be in the loop?
On average, how many people use this business?
They have 13 clients today using this platform. So representing probably 3 million tickets.
What specifically are you improving about the ticket industry? Like, are you just improving everything, or why should people use your model instead of just continuing what they've been doing for a long time?
Sure, good question. Well, an event manager wants to make things as smooth as possible when they put on an event, and what we bring is an integrated solution that they only have one login to get into, one desktop or one user interface, and the event management companies that license our software actually will be benefiting from that as well, so they don't have to interface with 5, 10 different systems, and it streamlines communication, it streamlines the exchange of money and that sort of thing. Yeah.
So is there any benefit for the customer then, or the person buying the ticket, or is there no difference?
Well, our hope is that the benefit of the customer will be lower service fees, because right now the big companies like your Ticketmasters and your TicketBuds, they set those service fees. So when we bring in this platform, we set it at $1.25, and the event managers, the Mikes and I of the worlds and the other ones, will be able to set the price higher, but hopefully not that high.
Pitch Kid gets started when I worked with my daughter on a website called Startup Info Matters. She asked who the website was for, how will they know about it, and who will go there, and I didn't have any answers. So I realized that I needed to kind of rethink things. So I started taking her real pitches, and she said, "Do it again, Daddy." She just enjoyed it. And from there, I started asking her friends, "Would you like to hear a pitch that I was pitched?" And they got excited about it, and that turned into maybe we could take this idea that I did at dinner time, something we could do as an event. And that's how Pitch Kid got started. I think it went a little bit better than the first two, not necessarily the content or the pitches, it's just that we're getting better on the logistics, and I think it was just easier to throw. I'm not necessarily Mr. Event Planner, and now I'm learning how to do things a little bit better, so I think it went a little bit smoother. I think what I love the most, and that's probably my most favorite thing, is I just love seeing the kids get excited about entrepreneurialism. I mean, you're an entrepreneur, so you know what it's like to kind of get that little bug, and when these kids watch the entrepreneurs pitch, they get excited, and watching that spark come alive is pretty cool. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming to Pitch Kid, and please come to many more.